Hi there guys and gals, it's me nirex and welcome back to Beginner C++ Programming. So in today's video we will be talking a little bit about operators and almost all types of operators. Okay, so let's get into it. Now I've already written all I need to write for this episode right here, but we'll go ahead and explain all of them as we go forward. So we have a couple of types of operators. We have the binary, unary, logical, comparison, and bitwise operators. Alright. Now these three guys will have their own videos. These two will be explained in the conditional statements, and bitwise, why I wrote enumeration. It will be explained in another video called the bitwise video, but the examples are very clear when we get to enumerations video. Okay, so enumerations, yeah, we'll just see the examples of how this guy works, okay, in enumerations, but not really. We don't care about this guy right here. All right, I don't know why I wrote that down. Anyhow, so these guys will have their own videos. You know, these two will be explained very shortly after, I think here, yeah, after array. So the next video after the next video, which will be if statements. So if is the conditional statement, we'll explain these guys right there. For now, our focus is these guys, okay? The binary and the unary operators. So let's first go ahead and see what exactly are operators in and of themselves. Now, operators are things that work on two or one other things or thing, respectively. And those things that are being worked on are called operands. Okay, so operand. Now, as I've already written here, binary operators, they work on two operands. Unary operator works on one operand, but we don't really care about unary operator just yet. Let's just first learn the binary operators. Now, it's really quite a simple subject. It's nothing to worry about. You've already learned all of this in math class, so this shouldn't be a problem for you. Now, we all know this guy, the plus sign, the addition operator. It adds two numbers together. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We have the subtraction number operator. So something like this will result in 2. We have this guy right here, 2 times 2. This is the multiplication. And we have this guy right here, the division operator. So if I say something like that, 2 divided by 2, it'll give me 1. There's one more that let me just tell you that as well. So there's this guy as well. This is the modulus operator. So if I say something like 3 modulo of 2, it'll give me 1. This is the mod of that thing. Okay, so we divide it, whatever remains, this is the remainder operator. Whatever remains will be the result of this guy right here, which will be 1. Now if I divide 3 by 2, it's a totally different story. But if I do, it'll be 1.5. Okay, this will be 1.5. Now don't write it like this, it's stupid. But if I do this, it'll be 1. Okay. Now we don't really care about that. Not really, and don't write it like that. As you saw, it had an error here, so yeah. Now these guys right here are the most important operators that we really care about. The rest, if you find any, not really, like this operator right here, we don't really care about that. We don't really care about this one just yet. We have this operator, we don't really care about that. We have this guy, we don't really care about that. So they're mainly not really, you know, they're not really binary operators. There are some other sorts of operators, but we don't really care about them. So yeah, it doesn't just end with these guys right here, but it ends, you know, somewhere, but not with these guys. There are more. Anyhow, so we also have the equation operator. Now, equation is something else. Okay, we can't really say 5 equals 2. It's stupid. We can't say 5 equals 5. That is also stupid in the realm of computer, in this context of C++. So how do we use this guy? Well, obviously, clearly, we use it not with numbers, then we use it with variables, right? So instead of saying 5 equals 5, I can say I equals 5. Then I will have given I any kind of value I want. All right, I equals 5. It means, you know, put 5 into I. Now these guys right here are, you know, pretty pretty goddamn useless. So if I evaluate this manually, 2 plus 2 is 4. And this is the same as writing 4 semicolon right here. It accomplishes nothing, it does nothing, it has absolutely no use. So let's just not do that, alright? It's just as basic and as simple and the same thing. It's identical to writing this guy right here. So we don't really do that, okay? We almost always use this guy, the equation operator, before whatever we want to do. So I can say I equals 2 plus 2. Now I evaluate 2 plus 2, then I put it in I. I can also say I equals 3 minus 1, I equals whatever, right? I can do whatever I want. Now, instead of these numbers right here, I can also use other variables. I can say maybe int a equals 1, int b equals 2. I can also say, let's say int c. I can say c equals a plus b, just like that. So this will evaluate into a plus b, which is 1 plus 2, which will be 3, and then 3 will be put into c. So as you can see, it's not really that hard. It's quite obvious. It's really obvious. You already know all of it. So yeah, don't worry about it. If it seems too simple, it is too simple. Yeah, don't worry about it. That doesn't work everywhere, but here it works. Okay, so if it seems simple, it is simple. Now let me just check something. All right, all good. Okay, so these were simple introduction to binary operators. All right, it's nothing too big, nothing too hard. Now let's talk a little bit about unary operators. Okay, so imagine if you want to do something like that. Okay, imagine if you want the value of c. Okay, there are more binary operators, but we'll go after them, after the unary operators. So imagine if you want to do something like this. Actually, no, we're going to go for them right now, then we're going to go for the unary operators. Imagine if you want to add something to the value of c, okay? So the value of c is 2. Now, you want to add 2 to it, okay? So c is 2 plus 2, right? c is 2 plus 2 plus 2. Now, in each step, another 2 value is being added to the current value of c, which is the one on the top of it, right? But it's a stupid way to do it like this. We have an operator for that. Or we have a way for that. We can actually use this guy right here to do that. Okay? So instead of just saying c equals 2, or then c equals 2 plus 2, or 2 plus 2 plus 2, or whatever, we can just use something like this. So take the value of c, add 2 to it, put it back in c. This may not make sense in the basic, classic math, but it makes total sense here. So we take the value of c, add whatever value we want to it, or whatever value in a variable we want to it, let's say 1, and then we put it back into c. This is what I'd like to call the computation flow. So the computation flow works like this. It first evaluates whatever there is on the left side, then puts it into the right side of this equation operator. And that's basically how it works. So I can easily say c plus 2 and put it back into c. Then I will have added a value, 2 to the c. Now, there is an operator for this. That's why I said it. I didn't want to just jump over all around the place, go to unary, then go back to binary. So let's just go ahead and take care of those operators as well. Now, there are a couple of operators that look like this: times equal, divide equal, and minus equal. Now, these operators do exactly this guy. Wherever you see c equals c plus, or divided, or times by, whatever, we don't really do that, okay? We use an operator instead. Now the operator is quite simple. So instead of doing that, we can say c plus equal to. So this will just shorten this guy into this guy. So it means take the value of c, add 2 to it, put it back into c. And there are, many guys like this. Minus equal to, c divide equal to, c times, where is it? Times equals to, c modulo equals 2. Alright, we also have this guy right here, so where was it? Come on. Yeah. We have these dudes right here as well. So instead of just always using that long bullshit, we use this short bullshit. And it just makes our lives a lot more simpler. You will see soon. I'll show you how and when it really makes you not have headaches. Okay, and this is basically what it sums up to. Okay, the binary operators, these are the most important ones. We don't really care just yet for the rest of them. You know, like this guy right here. We don't really care about these guys just yet, but yeah, we'll get to them soon. Although you may have already used them, we don't care about them. Now, these were almost all the important binary operators. Now let's talk a little bit about unary operators. So the most important one, let's say int I or int j equals, you know, 1. The most important one are these two, but we're not going to talk about those two. The first we're going to talk about, the first one is this guy, the negation operator. So if I say j equals minus j, you guess what it does. It's quite simple. So it's going to take 1, negate 1, which will be minus 1, and put it back into j. So this is different than this guy. Okay, you can't say this is the same as that. J equals j minus equal j, it's going to just evaluate into 0 because you're just subtracting a number from itself. So this is the way to go. J equals negative j. And this is how you do that, right? Just don't get those things wrong. This is not the same as that. This is not the same as that. This is just subtract 2 from it. This will put it to negative 2. So equal operator, negation operator, right? So that's basically how it works. So this is negation. Now there are these two guys, alright? So in the world of programming, it's extremely common to write something like this. C equals C plus 1. It's just super common, okay? Now we can shorten that into being C plus equals 1. But some people were super amazing enough to create something else for us, alright? And it's this guy right here. So instead of even this, alright, it's just, you know, it's just fantastic how the how laziness will make you go to, you know, what extends to create something to make you feel easier. And this is the result of laziness. So that's basically it. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but yeah, it was just a goddamn joke. Don't get offended. Don't be a snowflake. Anyhow, so this is just the same as this, which is the same as this. When you want to add 1 to any of your variables, you just do something like this. So, and operators and operands work like this. Okay, operator could be on any side, most of them. Okay, these two, for instance. This guy, not really, but these two can be. So, I can say C++. You see what I did there? Sorry for the bad pun. Or I can say plus plus C. I can also say C minus minus or minus minus C. Now I know I shouldn't be doing that, but I'm just doing it to, you know, make it clean. Well, fuck it. Let's not make it clean. So yeah, C++, plus plus C, same thing. C minus 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 C. These are the same thing as well. We will talk about the differences of these guys when we get to pointers. Oh boy, there are a lot of things we're going to learn in pointers. It's just going to be amazing. Anyhow, so this just adds 1 to the value, to the current value of our variable. Alright, whatever it might be, it could be 5, it could be negative 5, it could be 200, it could be whatever. We just take that value, add 1 to it, put it back into itself. And we do it with this simple and easy operator. And that's basically it. So let's talk a bit more about the computation flow. Now, in math, you know, these two guys come first, then comes this guy, then comes this guy, you know, these two guys. So in programming, it's the same concept, it's the same idea. Let me just show you like that. I can say I equals something like 2 plus 3 times 4, and it'll just, you know, 3 times 4, 12, plus 2, that's 14, right? And it'll just do that. Now, so that's basically how it works. We also have that same flow, same direction to go here as well. You know, just like in math, this guy gets done first, then comes, you know, whatever comes after it. We also have parentheses in computers, so I can say something like this. So 2 plus 3, that's 5, times 4, 20. Instead of 14, the value will now be 20. I can just use these guys right here. And it's not really a big subject. That's basically as much as I wanted to, you know, just touch this subject. Nothing more, nothing, you know, big, nothing complicated. Just your everyday Joe can learn all this shit with ease. Anyhow, so that was the binary operators, unary operators. Don't worry about these guys. They have their own video. I just thought I'd say them, you know, I'd mention these guys, honorable mentions, because I didn't want you guys to worry, you know, oh, why is he not talking about the logical operators? Does he not know they exist? Well, no, I do know they exist. It's just not the right video for them right now, okay? All you need to worry about, all you need to know are these guys, okay? Nothing more, nothing less. That's basically it. Anyhow, thank you for sticking around this far. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, do leave a like, maybe leave a comment, maybe even subscribe if you really enjoyed it. And see you in the next one.